So, as you've heard, my name is Precious. I'm from Zimbabwe. So something special happened yesterday. It was an International Day of the Rural Women. And I'm a rural girl. I still am. And I thought hard yesterday. I was like, today is International Day for Rural Women. Tomorrow is World Food Day. What is my role as a rural woman in the world's lands, in the world's soils, in providing food? And what's the importance of food to women? What does it mean in my country, in Zimbabwe? So this morning, I'm just going to share with you briefly my story and the story of many others like me from Zimbabwe. When I think of soil really, we all agree, is one thing that brings us all together. And taking care of soil takes care of our health, takes care of our climate, takes care of our economies. I come from a country where about more than 70% of the income in the country comes from agriculture. 14 to 16% in that country makes the gross domestic capital. And I am thinking to myself, wow, soil brings us all together. I'm from Zimbabwe. We just heard from someone from France, and I am here in the Americas. We all have one language. We need to build that. That is our friend. In Zimbabwe, I work with communities, rural women and rural men. It is incredibly important for us to be able to provide food for ourselves. But then without a good soil, without a whole, we cannot have food. We cannot be sustainable. And a young man wants to know, needs to know that his family is covered for food all year round. A young man or an old man wants to know that his forage is enough, his grassland is enough to take care of his cattle. Or we see lots of farmers dying from stress. A young woman wants to know that she can feed and take her kids to school and take care of her family without much strain. So let's look closely at how we've been managing land and how we've been managing our soils. By the way, we are also a country that was overcome by industrial agriculture, a belief that we should farm huge pieces of land using heavy machinery, use pesticides, synthetic fertilizers for you to increase your harvest, use all sorts of things, anything that you can to get enough food. But I am telling you, we have seen the opposite happening. As long as we keep managing the way that things have been going, we will never attain the benefits, the true benefits that the soil is supposed to give us. But I'm so thankful that as a young rural woman, I came across in the path of life a man called Phiri, who's a holistic manager, a founder of that concept, which uses regenerative agriculture and animals, regenerative grazing to bring back rangelands, to bring back food and water to the people, and above all, sequestering carbon. So I'm going to take you on our journey. Growing up, the lady there with a few siblings is me. That is our rural home. I wondered why we were so poor, yet we had all the land. I wondered why we couldn't take care of our food. We had to do child labor to work in people's fields so that we get food to eat. And I wondered, how come when it rains, rivers just flash flood? We cannot get enough water in the river so that we continue watering our livestock. I wondered, why do we have to queue and get food aid that comes from America? It would be written US aid, European aid. And I'm like, why is there so much pressure for all the world out there to bring us food when we can do it ourselves? And I went into the Africa Center for Holistic Management. I've been working as a trainer and educator in holistic management for 9 years now, and I am still growing, and it's an amazing network that is growing globally. If we look at our world, let's just think of it. Most of the times we are tempted to say, oh my God, we do not have food. We do everything that we can to just provide food. We can address any problem, but we love addressing things in single strips. But I'm telling you that the world is interlinked. It works in wholes. one decision, one wrong decision in industrial agriculture has affected us all across the world. And one great decision to do regenerative organic agriculture, I repeat as Tom said, regenerative, is going to turn around our whole world. But it takes small segments of communities, a rural girl in Zimbabwe, a rural man in South Africa, a person in Malawi, the French government, the United States, all people doing what they can in their small environments to build up the soil just to the state where things were. And so in holistic management, we use livestock. We are cattle people, like the former speaker that said that the world is full of grasslands. We are grasslands people. And we use wild herbivores. We use our livestock to imitate what wild herbivores used to do. I'm talking about bison, buffalo, wildebeest. Grasslands of the old co-evolved with these animals. And so we manage and run livestock herds in what you can call restorative grazing or holistic management or holistic plant grazing. So I am a pro in holistic management and holistic plant grazing, organizing communities around that. It's not easy because each person has got like 10 cattle or 15 cattle, but we understand that an effort of a group of people coming together cannot be stopped. And we use that same component, as has been mentioned earlier, to use in our gardens, in our crop fields. I am telling you, that is regenerative organic cropping. And we see people improving their cropping and crop yields 2 to 4 times more than conventional. This year, this past season, we had the worst rain season. But I am telling you that other houses who use conventional agriculture, they harvested food for 2 months, but people who use this method of animal impacting using livestock have got food for 5 months. Already that is a difference. And economically, it helps families. Economically, it helps people to know that, oh my goodness, this can be carried to generations forward. And communities are suddenly taking charge of their land, taking charge of their lives. And young people, old people, all coming together, agreeing that this is the way we want to live. We do not want food from elsewhere. We want food from within. I'm not going to start talking about the rangelands. It's a whole big story. But forage has increased. We have healed lands that lay bare for over 30 years using just the hoof impact of livestock, the dung and the urine, moving livestock every day with the shepherds, with anybody who is available to take care and take charge. And that there is a multi-species. We move cattle, we move goats, we move sheep together. And we are claiming even rivers, reclaiming rivers. We have healed 2 rivers that were dry and couldn't flow right around the year. So this is growing. We are hoping that the network will continue. Ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be said enough that a healthy soil brings a healthy climate, it brings a healthy society, it brings a healthy gut, and we need to come together, to join forces, put carbon back to the ground, harvest every drop of water to rebuild our water cycles, harvest every organic matter to grow food and feed ourselves. Happy World Food Day. Thank you.